Hello and welcome to Mouse House Plus episode 40. I'm Hank.
And I'm John.
And we're your hosts covering some recent Marvel news. That's what this episode is going to be focused on. So, John, you want to talk about Disney Plus first?
Yes, let's do that.
There's an I Am Groot short series coming out. When is this coming out? Do you know?
It says it just says it was announced in 2020.
Okay, just announced.
But I mean, it's a legit thing. So they're not saying a specific time when it's coming out. But if it's shorts, they'll just slip it in Disney Plus and probably just not really promote it that much, because usually all their shorts are things you find by accident.
Kind of like that series that they threw on there during Falcon and the Winter Soldier, where they were just like giving you that update on each character.
Yeah. Yep.
That's kind of cool. Now we have an Agatha Harkness getting her own series story. Oh my goodness. See, I don't understand how they'll frame this though, because she's not a good character.
Well, I mean, in the comics, she's not necessarily a bad character. I mean, she has her moments where, yes, she does bad things, but like during like the House of M and everything, she was actually trying to help Wanda in that one. So, I don't know. I have no idea where they're going to go with this. The only thing I could think of is it's going to be clearly a prequel of some sort. Maybe we'll get to see her life, you know, in the village with her mother, and then to have her, like, each episode would be her skipping through the years until we meet up with her in WandaVision. Because the other thing too is, you know, the Darkhold is now in play, and it's more along the lines of, how does one end up with that? You know, where did that come from? It just automatically, she just had it. So if anything, it might be a Darkhold series, not necessarily an Agatha Harkness series.
And then she's really tied into the Fantastic Four, correct?
You know what? That I don't know. I'm not a huge Fantastic Four fan. So, I mean, I'm a Doom fan, which is the other side of that. You think that I would be, but Doom does a lot more to everybody else, and not just the Fantastic Four.
Okay. I think she has some connection with them, but our community will correct me because I'm sure I'm wrong. All right. Agents of S.W.O.R.D. is bringing back Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. cast. Now, is it the entire cast, John, or just some of our faves?
Some of the faves. Like, we're gonna get basically it sounds like a lot of the people who are left over from the last season. So, you know, we'll get Fitz and Simmons, we'll get Clark Gregg, we'll get Quake, and I actually think that if I remember that article correctly, they even oh my goodness, I forgot what his name. I forgot what his character's name was. Who's the guy who's in charge of S.H.I.E.L.D. now? Mac. There you go. Never mind. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I thought I saw his name on there as well. So, I mean, it's this is something that would tie together in Secret Wars, which is, you know, actually, I think it's the next subject that we're going to talk here. But Secret Wars seems to be tying in everything.
Now, will you be disappointed if there's certain characters like Ming-Na Wen's character, Agent May, if she's missing and some others are missing? Would you be?
I don't think I don't think that. Sorry, I missed her. I don't know why she wouldn't be there. She's a Disney princess. She's alumni. There's no reason for there not to have her there. She's an easy get.
Right. Yeah. They have absolute access to get her because they have her under contract for so many different projects. But I wonder if she's just too busy, though.
Oh, and there was an article that just got released today, in fact, asking, or with there's a book that was just released basically stating the legitimateness of Agent Carter and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in the MCU. Are they real? Agent Carter is officially classified as real and is part of the MCU. Don't know how that all works together, but that's what the article says. It says that the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. are not. But that's also dealing with the MCU where we're at right now, or, you know, with just the current timeline. Like I said, as soon as we open up the multiverse, you can't rule them out because hypothetically anything goes.
That is pretty cool. I kind of like it. Kind of like it. Next on the docket, you did have Secret Wars, and Kevin Feige wants Wesley Snipes and Nicolas Cage back in their legacy roles. What is this?
And I don't understand. This sounds like more of multiverse of madness stuff. I have no idea why they would be there. But it's very, very reminiscent of what they're doing with the Flash movie and how they're going back and hitting all the Batmans.
Oh, okay. That
So,
sounds awesome, though.
oh yeah, I mean, I'm more Nicolas Cage peeing fire. Sure, why not? They were terrible movies, but at the same time, I was entertained, even though they were really bad. Although Blade was great. I liked Blade. I didn't have any problem with Blade.
Yes. And then would Ryan Reynolds meet himself if if he had to come face to face with the multiverse?
Yes, he's already met himself by killing himself before actually doing the Green Lantern movie, remember? So
what's another vampire slaying character for him to kill? That would be funny, because he essentially plays the same character in every movie he does.
Yep. And also it came up, and now it doesn't say what she's playing, but Emily Clark, who would be Daenerys from Game of Thrones, has been added to Secret Wars as well.
Amelia or Emily?
Or is it? Oh, sorry, Amelia. I when I write it down here, it's my first glance is that.
Ah, okay. But no word whatsoever on who she's gonna be or anything.
No, unfortunately not. But I mean, I probably
gotta be.
I mean, why not? Considering the fact that you can technically put anybody in there and be like, oh, scroll. There's a scroll.
That's a scroll.
Scroll. Yep.
And make some really historic backstory that everybody's like, man, that is amazing. But that never happened in the comics. One of those moments.
Well, I mean, with the entire plot line of Secret Wars, basically trying to go off of the comics where they say that there's a rogue group of Skrull that are going to be like invading Earth, but just bringing in and connecting all these other characters, which I don't. The only reason why I don't understand is because, like I said already, this is like multiverse of madness territory, and this Secret Wars, it almost seems now, and I know we're going to discuss in a little bit, that Secret Wars might be coming out like before a lot of the movies that are going to try and fix the multiverse.
Wow. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that for certain. I am probably absolutely incorrect, but we know already. We'll discuss it here at the end about everything being pushed back. So I mean, who knows?
And then we have Ironheart, starring Dominic Thorne. I think that is going to be an interesting series. Any thoughts on Ironheart?
Yes, I'm very excited about this. I can't wait to see her in this role. I'm more along the lines just trying to figure out if this is going to come out before Armor Wars, or if this is going to be a result of Armor Wars.
That would be cool. Have it kind of play off of there and then roll right into that.
Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean that it has to, because in the comic books, it had nothing to do with it. She was just a genius, and then found, what was it? I think she found like a lab of Starks, or I have to go back and read the comics. It's been a while, but she built all that basically herself with just a little insight with the a Stark AI.
A new Wakanda TV series is supposed to be coming. Now, I know there's been a lot of social media fervor over the Shuri actress, so I wonder if that's still on track.
Yeah, and considering the fact that they dropped what's her name from Mandalorian pretty darn quick, over some controversial statements, but yet this seems to be drug out. And the only thing I can think of is because since they've lost the main character, this is one of the only connections that they can work with. So, but I mean, I've also seen articles, stating that no, it wasn't as bad as a lot of people are playing it out to be.
Probably the correct answer right there.
But regardless, if there's even a rumor there, that means she said something, which, that it in this day and age, especially with how Disney is trying to roll things, if you like what you're doing, just shut the heck up.
Right. Silence is how we got here.
Yep.
Wakanda Forever. Michaela, what is it? Coel?
I think so.
is rumored to play Storm. This seems a little anticlimactic because in the comics, Black Panther and Storm kind of have a relationship.
Yes, but also in the comics, Storm is from. Shoot, I'm going to make myself look bad here. She's from Africa, but I cannot think of where she's from specifically. I thought that she was found in like Cairo. I'm thinking of like the 90s cartoon series and not the actual comic book series. So I'm not 100% sure, but that article popped up and I mean, they're sliding closer and closer to introducing mutants. So again, could be another true thing. So I just want to make sure everyone realizes that a lot of the stuff that popped up are just these articles that constantly, are hitting my phone and hitting my feed. And more than half of them are true. But some of them are speculation. This is one of the ones that's a speculation. But the character is in the movie, but you don't know exactly who she's playing, and automatically Storm popped up as a possibility.
Okay, that makes sense. Hawkeye, Florence Pugh will be returning. Man, I cannot wait for that series to get underway. At least, in advance. I'm pretty stoked about it, so I'm hoping it lives up to what my expectations are. But right now, I'm really stoked to see that.
Well, I just saw an article stating that we're going to get like 2 episodes of Hawkeye in like November 23rd, I think.
Two in one day?
Yeah, like it seems as though they're going to release 2 episodes and then we have to wait because it did get pushed back. Yeah, November 24th.
Okay. I remember it being November 24th, but I didn't know there was a gap in there.
Well, it's either going to be a gap or they're just promoting the fact that we're getting 2 episodes on the first day. So wasn't Hawkeye part of the pushback of movies and shows?
No,
it wasn't. Oh,
it
okay.
Was
in that case, we're getting 2 episodes on the first day, and it's going to be on track normally.
I wonder if that's because it is going to be Thanksgiving, and they want people to have something over that long weekend. They want them to have 2 episodes instead of 1.
Yep, it sounds like a thing. But this, I know that Florence was like kind of a no-brainer because we already knew that she was going to be there, but it wasn't officially announced, and this was the official announcement stating yes, she's going to be in the show. So, and that makes perfect sense because more than likely, a good portion of the show is going to be them just trying to get away from her the entire time.
Allegedly. Hawkeye star Aliqua Cox is supposed to play Echo. Has a spin-off show in development.
Yes.
What is this going to be? Just another short Disney Plus run that you've heard so far?
So far, yeah, it's kind of sounds like Miss Marvel kind of situation. So it'll probably be like maybe a 5-episode run. I mean, I know of the character of Echo, but I don't know her to be as popular to already have a spinoff. So I'm really curious how they're going to do this. And also, I'm quite sure she is a mutant as well. Let's look real quick.
They're gonna have to, what was that series when they go, you got some splaining to do? What was that TV show?
Yeah, but I mean, like Echo in the comic books, I do believe she is now the host of the Phoenix Force.
Oh wow!
So, but she is so that means that yes, she's a mutant and she does American Sign Language because she's deaf.
Interesting. Okay.
Let me double check that. Marvel.
But interesting. Looks like she's on these pictures I see. Looks like she's hosting the Phoenix Force right there.
Okay, so it is the same character. She is a mutant.
Okay, interesting.
Yep. So that means that they're still dropping a mutant here and there throughout this entire series.
Now She-Hulk, She-Hulk, Jamil.
Jamila Jamil. That's right.
What's this one about?
So she has now been added to the cast. She is She-Hulk's nemesis.
Oh, and in the comics, did you ever get into that comic?
No, I never got into that comic.
Okay. I was just curious what would be some of the ones that she would go up against.
I am going to tell you here in one moment.
Preparedness.
Well, I mean, I had a bunch of windows open, but honestly, we actually started sliding through these things a lot quicker than I had windows open.
He's like, ding, ding.
All
Hit
right.
him again.
Hulk. Sorry, I left that one part out. Action-packed Marvel role, blah blah blah. She will be playing.
Oh, no reply. Oh, I get it. Well, you want to come back to that so we can keep it moving?
Yeah.
All right. So on the MCU movies front, Spider-Man: No Way Home has confirmed that Charlie Cox will be in the movie as Matt Murdock and possibly Daredevil.
That news dropped like an hour and a half ago.
Nice.
So I mean, we already guessed that he was going to be in it, and a lot of people were already convinced. This is now the official. He's in it, but not necessarily is Daredevil's in it, because as far as we know right now, he is Spider-Man's lawyer. So that's really all that we've got going on at the moment. Maybe it'll expand and we'll see Daredevil. I have no idea. I mean, I feel that if they end up doing the Sinister 6 or 7 or whatever they're called, that he'll need the extra help. And I mean, that's a great character to bring in there if he's already there in the first place.
That would be really cool to have him in there. But yeah, I'm pretty sure he's going to be in there. They've talked about this for a long, long time. And I hope it comes to fruition that he really honestly suits up as Daredevil in the film. That would be really cool, because in the comics, there's multiple times where, you have them interact. And I love stuff like that.
Especially since they're, the local neighborhood Spider-Man. This is in the same neighborhood. All right, I found it. She is going to be playing Titania, Titania. So
that's She-Hulk story, Jamila.
Yes.
Jamil.
Yeah, and I mean, she's a very tall woman. I'm quite sure she's like 6'3", 6'4". So I mean, this will probably fit her just well.
Okay, interesting. That'd be cool. Guardians of the Galaxy. Adam Warlock, potentially Will Poulter. Is this confirmed or is this speculation?
This is the article. The article I read said this Will Poulter is playing Adam Warlock.
Excellent. Here's the only problem I have with this. Like, for me, Guardians of the Galaxy minus Adam Warlock is crazy. You know what I mean? Like, without that story is kind of crazy. I'm surprised it took this long to make this happen.
Well, my only problem with this now is he was a key part of the Infinity War saga.
Bam.
And without Thanos being there to put him in check, because he puts Thanos in check, and then there's like a reverse in there. But without that, like, he tends to be like almost a power crazy person as well. So that's going to be an interesting way that they're going to have to spin this. So I'm curious. I don't know what they're going to do with it, but I mean, considering that it was already led to in the last Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 movie, then if they didn't do it, it would be a loss on their end.
Right. I'm curious how they're going to portray the character, how they're going to meet up and all that stuff. I really want to see if this gets done correctly or if this is where the wheels start to come off. Doctor Strange 2 casts, I cannot say that name, as America Chavez. What is it? Jotiti Gomez?
I think there's an L at the L at the end.
Oh, that's a crazy name. I've never seen that name before.
All right, let's that's a real person. But yes, American Chavez will be in Doctor Strange 2.
That is interesting.
As well as, but I think this is interesting because I've never found her to be a huge like Marvel character. She's in a lot of like the kids cartoons, like specifically the Secret Warriors. She ended up being in that series where Chloe Bennett was doing her Quake character there. So I know her more through the cartoons more than in the comic books, but I do know that she exists in the comics. Introducing her in Doctor Strange 2 is very, very weird to me, considering the fact that it's already going to be a weird as heck movie, blending, Loki and Scarlet Witch all into the one thing. So, it's still yet again, there's another Marvel character that they're tossing into the fray.
Interesting. I wonder if this Doctor Strange 2 is going to be so overloaded that it's going to pull away from the main story.
Well, I mean, I think here's what I believe. I believe that this Doctor Strange 2 movie is going to focus on just the chaos that was brought, not necessarily what is involved in the chaos, such as Kang, and then we'll deal with Kang in Ant-Man 3. But this is going to set up Ant-Man 3 and at the same time gives you the opportunity of bringing in like the mutants. So fingers crossed that it happens. Don't know if it will or not, but
are they even going to say that word in these upcoming Phase 4?
Yes, because what else are they going to use? They're not going to use Inhumans. They've burnt that bridge. They're not going back.
That'd be great if somebody said that and they get slapped, like that Batman meme. Somebody goes to say, man, well, let's just call him in. I would love it.
And then have them be like, or the audience just get up and just leave automatically just by the mention of the name.
Yeah, they just walk out. Ratings plummet. All right, Thor, Love and Thunder, Christian Bale as Gore, the God Butcher. That was well known, yes. I think he'll do a good job as the character, but they're gonna have to do some hellacious CG.
I don't know. I mean, I have always been like, I don't know how they're doing these Thor movies and making them so great, because I was even thinking about this not that long ago. Whenever they're going down the line, I was talking to some friends. I'm like, how do they even do a Thor movie? I mean, how does that make sense? They made it make sense. And so far, I have to just go, okay, they know what they're doing. They know a lot better than I do what they're doing when it comes to this, because they're doing a lot better job.
And they have gotten real actors, like they've gone out and gotten like legit actors to play some of these characters that you're like, I can't picture them playing these roles. It's kind of humorous if you think about it.
Well, and the next one is with Russell Crowe playing Zeus. So that means that they're bringing in a whole other pantheon into this as well. So, I mean, and we haven't even seen any of them, which, by the way, if Zeus is in this, now we can introduce Hercules. You're absolutely right. So, and that means that they're just opening up the door for more possibilities. But in all seriousness, if I didn't see this through Thor, like this pantheon through Thor, it would make sense. But again, if they try to make it just like the Thor movie, I don't know. I don't think Hercules has been around and has been a loved character for a while, but I was never really popular. It wasn't popular to me. So I'm not quite sure how you draw a large audience in on that without them knowing it was an actual like legit MCU movie and not something that, they're just rehashing.
Right. Dwayne Johnson doing it again, But in the comics, I had a comic I remember distinctly with Atlas, and I remember on the panels he was talking about, I once held the very weight of the world on my shoulders, and he was gonna get ready to fight, and he ended up getting his butt kicked, but it was still cool to kind of have that aura and mystique in the comics as a kid. Now, this is the one I really want to dig into.
Okay.
World War Hulk movie is being rumored to start filming next year. My goodness. That could be epic, man.
Well, I'm really curious how this is going to happen. Now, we know, because we've talked about it before, that
Universal.
No, not Universal. It was oh man, I'm doing what I normally do. I'm forgetting everyone's names. Oh, why can't I remember his name? Yep. Thank you.
Good job. Yes. Achievement unlocked. Doing what he does.
Mark Ruffalo, because why not? Anyway, he's already, yes. I have no idea.
Why
Thank
would
you.
you just say the guy that plays the Hawkeye? I would have covered for you.
Oh well,
Oh,
that's why I typed in. Sorry. I thought that was you. I was typing that too. Anyway, he's already been talking for quite some time how he wanted to do a World War Hulk movie, and it's been all kinds of different twists and turns with the Hulk franchise, and I have a feeling that they're expecting to get something out of this She-Hulk series with Maura Ruffalo in that playing the Hulk, and then maybe from there they would be able to launch into this. Now, the only problem is World War Hulk was pretty much already done with the last Thor movie, because he ends up onto a battle world where he ends up having to fight, makes a revolt, gets a whole bunch of people that were also gladiator warriors to join him, comes back to Earth, and basically is like, you all put me on a spaceship and sent me to this planet because you couldn't deal with me. Guess what? I'm in charge now, and just starts just messing with everybody. And then nobody can stop him because the Hulk has these people that are with him that basically are dying for him, but they've also been to the point of battling with him and and they didn't win, but they could take it, which means that pretty much anyone that they fight is not going to win because you're dealing with someone who was able to stand toe to toe with the Hulk.
all right. I love that.
But
Well,
it's one of those. I think that this might be getting one of those they're too big for their britches kind of thing, because I mean, we know that Hulk did not do good at all in the last two movies that they created on it. Not to mention that they even kept the last one as part of the MCU,
yeah.
and I mean it was entertaining. I think that they could have done better with it.
Yeah.
But them doing another one, and we know that the problem was because Universal had a license over top of them. But I mean, do we even know? Do they have that back now, or is it Universal still have a license?
I thought Universal still has that license, and they'll have to pay through the nose to be able to do that. Because Universal wants their cut. So if I were Universal, I'd never give that up.
But at the same time, it's not like they have an automatic winner there, because they already know that it's had issues in the past, so they're doing a lot of gambling.
But a movie like that, as far out as it would launch, man, that could be a gangbuster movie as far as worldwide money.
Yeah, but I mean, they're going to have to do a lot of explaining and work other things in, if considering the fact that we've already dealt with this scenario in Thor 3.
Right. And I go back to this. I know we beat this into the ground, but it is sometimes challenging because of the order they chose to do these movies in and such, because there was, I won't say better stories, there were other stories they could have told prior to some of these movies we actually got. And that's the part that you can't go back and redo, in my opinion, properly. You could go back and redo anything you want, but are fans going to buy it, or are they going to be as invested as they would have been had they done Adam Warlock, back early, and then have him roll into Infinity Saga with the gang, and then now spill out to his attitude getting out of control and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, they could have woven these stories together just a little bit more crisp, but we'll see. I always say that, and then they try and turn around and make me to look like an idiot.
Well, I mean, again, it's just a lot of gambling. They're taking chances. They seem to be doing good on an awful lot of chances. I mean, their win to lose ratio is pretty good.
Oh,
so, I think that they can, even if it failed, they could take that loss. It wouldn't be that big to them, and they would somehow flip it and make money off of it in one way or another. But I mean, but I don't know. The story's got to be sound, and it somehow has to make sense, considering the fact that what they did with World War Hulk was already pretty much done.
Perfectly stated. Anything else before we head behind the spoiler curtain?
Oh, yes. Actually, sorry, it was not written in the notes. You wanted to discuss this pushback of all the movies.
Oh, most certainly. Real quick, though, if you head to tpnetwork.com, click on the store link, it's going to take you to our t-shirt store, and you can go ahead and grab yours today. We appreciate your support. All right. Yeah, there's been a lot of movies pushed back. Do you have the list in front of you?
I can get it in a moment. Actually, I'm
Because
pretty sure
I
it's still on
had
that
it
list.
for another show, but I don't have it handy right here.
All right, I have the list of the movies. So, yes, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is now May 6th of 2022.
Okay. I'm
Thor,
okay
Love
with
and
that one.
Thor, Love and Thunder. Yeah, but the thing is, we've already have all this stuff dealing with the multiverse, and now we're pushing something off until like the mid next year.
That's true.
I'm not a fan of that. I want that movie. That movie should be like now-ish.
Tell us how you really feel.
Well, let's see. I mean, let's get into my feelings. Thor, Love and Thunder, which is going to be July 8th of 2022, so 2 months away. Then Black Panther, Wakanda Forever is going to be November 11th, 2022. The Marvels, starring Captain Marvel 2, will be February 17th of 2023. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 will be May 5th, 2023.
Yikes.
And Ant-Man and the Wasp, the Quantumania, will be July 28th of 2023, which I thought that needed to be pretty close to the Multiverse of Madness, but now that is a what is it? That's
over a
year and 2 months away from each other.
Right.
So
that's ridiculous. Yeah. Did they, besides the pandemic, did they give an excuse?
Yes, I do not have that up. I'll be honest. I actually thought that you'd have that up.
No, I did not. I did, because I don't want to hear their excuse. I just per se, but I was gonna pile on, to be honest.
Well, I mean, there was an article. Why? Here we go. Let me see if this is the same one. Comic book is Kevin Feige actually announced why, and let's see if I can find that specific thing. Nope, of course that's not the same article that I read earlier.
And it probably just moves they made to avoid certain dates and stuff like that. I bet, because if you move one thing, you almost have to move everything else. Almost.
Yeah, but the thing is, they haven't even listed any of the Marvel Plus series, because that was a question too, if it was going to affect any of that.
Oh, okay. Now, I haven't heard of it affecting anything, because Hawkeye's still slated for end of November, so that's fine.
And Indiana Jones 5 was delayed as well, because that
nobody
was
cared. Nobody cares. That's gonna be a stink fest. Just my opinion.
Man. Of course.
All right.
I found that real easy one time, and now I can't find it at all. Oh, is this it? Kevin Feige explains why Phase 4. There we go. There it is. I found it. Now let's see if my page will actually not just jump all around. It's production shifts and changes, and because we have so many slots, we can just shift slots. Kevin Feige says of the schedule changes that altered Doctor Strange 2's release date, which also did everything else.
Interesting. Well, you ready to head to the spoiler zone?
Absolutely.
All right. If you don't want to be spoiled on Venom 2, an end scene, then definitely check us out next week. But either way, you've been warned. All right, John, Venom 2, end scene. Puts them in the MCU.
Yeah, they have this whole thing where like they're like Eddie and Venom are like talking to each other in the room, and then there's like some weird shift that happens, and then you're seeing the news report from Jameson, J. Jonah Jameson. Yeah, okay. Saying the exact same thing that we saw at the end of Spider-Man Far From Home. And with that, Venom kind of like leans in with some sort of like weird recognition and then starts licking the screen. So now Into the Spider-Verse is happening where everyone's being drawn in. So it is possible that we could see Venom in the Spider-Man. What? No, you don't think so?
We probably will based on that, but I don't really care to be honest.
What happens if it's an after credit scene?
I guess it'd be fine. You know, if it's something simple, it'll be fine. If it's something more than just a little passing, I
Oh,
don't want to see it.
the whole thing is already going to be confusing as
Be a
is. I mean, we're going to be
muster.
dealing with Spider-Man in like, Mirrorverse. You got Doc Ock. You've got let's see who else. We know that there's going to be a Green Goblin. We don't know necessarily which one it's going to be,
Right.
but I mean,
It's almost too frenetic, you know, like the pacing of a movie is everything. And some of these movies where they're just like, we got this character, that character, this character, you can easily mess that up, in
and
my opinion.
that's why I'm upset about this multiverse of madness being so far out, because
Right.
it is definitely a linchpin in all of this. So
All right.
this is probably going to be like Doctor Strange is going to do that spell. It's going to wreck, not necessarily because of Parker's fault, but because it's all the whole multiverse is already wrecked, and he's trying to do something that's focusing on one timeline. And then I think that this might I don't know why it wouldn't clue him in that there might be something wrong with the multiverse, considering the fact you've got people showing up that shouldn't exist.
And then people are already speculating, like, uh, you know, there's a character that shows up. I'm not spoiling anything on another topic. There's a character that shows up in Shang-Chi, and he's not acting like himself. And so people are like, that's a different version of him. And I mean, it's just gonna go on and on and on until your head explodes.
Or
So
until we all get together to do some karaoke.
exactly, maybe that'll make it better and stuff. But people are doing stuff, and we're like, that don't make much sense. Or he's acting kind of funny. Or Doctor Strange looks different in this scene than he does in this other scene that I saw. You know, there's just so much of that going on. And I'm like, oh, please just get this movie out so we can just get it over with. Pull the Band-Aid off.
Do you want to know what everyone is saying about that?
About which thing?
About Doctor Strange, and that's not Doctor Strange. You know who they say it is?
I know who they're saying it is, but if anybody, somebody's watching. So if you don't want to be spoiled, don't stop watching.
Why? I don't know. This isn't spoiling anything. We've only been saying this since the beginning of WandaVision. So I mean, of course, it's Mephisto.
I'm done.
It's come back around again.
Can I go? Oh my gosh! Please, this comes up like every month almost in some form or some fashion. They're like, Mephisto is back. You see how he's acting? You see how weird he's acting? I'm like, oh my gosh!
Gotta make a bingo card. Got to make a bingo card being like every time all the different movies and shows, and then having like he was mentioned in this or mentioned as being part of this.
I have a t-shirt idea. I'm going to tell you once we're in the stream. It's gold. But is that it, John? You said we wouldn't go 30 minutes, and it's 38 minutes.
Well, okay. I'm done.
All right.
I'm done.
All right. Thank you, John, for putting this together. It was a lot of fun. We'll be back next week, correct?
Yes.
Okay. In some form or fashion, either here or House of the Dragon podcast. It's on Spotify finally, so that's a good thing. So we will be podcasting all the way through until we get to Hawkeye and start that series, of course. But stay tuned in to TPE Network. For John, I'm Hank. Until the next time, we're signing off.
Bye, everybody.
TPE Network. There ain't nothing else like it.